Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. This is Scott Snyder with the Exit Planning Institute. I hope everybody is well today. Today, we're going to take a look at our Exit Planning Summit. It's that time of year again. It's pretty much my favorite time of year if you're in the office and with our Exit Planning Institute team. They will all tell you that there's always a buzz come May as we start to build and lead into September when we host the Exit Planning event really of the year. So I'd like to take today to talk about the summit, talk about what's inside this year's summit, the makeup of it. For some of the folks that have never attended, we hope that you see you there. I will guarantee you will have an excellent experience, and it'll be a very different conference experience for you. We started the summit really in annual conference form back in 2011 with about 40 or 50 people at our first ever Exit Planning Institute annual conference in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And over the years since then, over the past 6 or 7 years now, the conference, this annual conference that has really been a conference for the Exit Planning Institute, for the organization and its members, its SEPAs, really has morphed and changed into what I consider to be the exit planning event of the year, almost like the Super Bowl of value acceleration and exit planning for the industry, for the marketplace, where not only will you meet and mingle with certified exit planning advisors, but you'll meet non-SEPAs, other advisors that play in the exit planning ecosystem that are valuable team members for your collaborative teams. You'll meet owners, business owners come out to the conference. You'll meet people from colleges and universities that are conducting research around exit planning. You'll also meet significant partners and colleagues that will help you build your exit planning practice, help you execute exit planning, whether it's in the form of education or whether you're delivering the exit planning service. We have formed some of the best partners in this industry to help those advisors along. So it really, truly has become, I think, the exit planning event of the year. Overall summit, when you come, it really is a mixture of what I consider traditional kind of conference content and untraditional conference content as well. Traditionally, you'll certainly have your keynotes, you'll have your choice of breakout sessions to go to, you'll have your general sessions, and you'll have some panel discussions. You'll also have after conference workshops that you can attend. But from a non-traditional standpoint, we like to view this as an event where we could really roll up our sleeves and start to practice exit planning and sharpen our skill set and learn even deeper, not just from sitting in sessions, but from actually doing. So this year we have incorporated a case study into the entire summit. It's going to be pretty cool because not only will it act as a case study for the summit, but it'll actually turn itself into an ebook for exit planners. It's a fictional story that we're working on right now with a team of writers and contributors. And we're walking through a fairly typical owner situation where that owner has engaged a team led by a certified exit planning advisor to help him and his team build his exit strategy and eventually transition his company. We'll use that ebook in case study form. And throughout the conference, we'll have time where we break in. Everybody will be assigned to a practice group, and in workshop style form, and if you're a certified exit planning advisor, much like you've done through the credential training, break out into your small groups and have to answer a few questions and collaboratively come out with a conclusion. So we'll leave time for everybody to kind of break out throughout the conference, work on this case study, come up with the results that you believe is the right way, or maybe a couple of ways that this owner could actually transition their business, and learn from each other and really sharpen your skills. At the end of the summit, what we'll do is come back together as a group, and there'll be a select number of groups that get to present their findings in front of the entire conference. So I think that's going to be a pretty cool opportunity. So now you're not just learning from the experts and the speakers that are there, but you're really rolling up your sleeves and learning from each other by actually practicing and putting in and implementing exit strategy. Another unique and non-traditional thing that we've added is really what I call a Cliff Notes session of the entire summit. So our president and CEO, Chris Snyder, will join us on stage on day one and recap the entire day. As a person that really not only puts on educational programming for advisors, but also attends a lot of conferences myself, there's always multiple sessions you want to go to, and they're all at the same time, and you can't possibly be at two places at once. So rather than having you pop in and out of sessions, what we're going to do is sum up all the sessions together at the end of day one and have Chris present really the hottest topics, the best content, the three or five major points, so that you could really get at least a little bit out of the entire event. So I think that's going to be a pretty unique thing as well. There's also some key events that we integrate into the conference, because the Exit Planning Summit certainly is about education, but it's also about experience. It's really that one time of year, almost like a class reunion, if you will, that the SEPAs get together and they might have not have seen each other all year. We're scattered across 43 different states and about 15 different countries. And we'll get together and we'll have time for networking. We'll have time for some fun. We'll have some time to do some good through these other events. As you know, every conference has some type of opening reception. And I believed, our team believed really 2 or 3 years ago, that if we got 200 advisors, owners, academics, people from the media in the room, not only can we break bread and share drinks in an opening reception and celebrate, but we also have an excellent opportunity to do some good for that local community that we're in for the summit. So our opening reception on Monday night, actually, it becomes a charity give back social. We'll talk about that in a few moments, but another unique event that I think is at the Exit Planning Summit is that charity give back social, where there's an auction, a silent auction, and we have a chance to raise some money for a local nonprofit organization in the Nashville community this year. We'll also have our Exit Solution Marketplace, our exhibit hall, which features all of our excellent partners that can help you build your practice, generate revenue, fine-tune your skills, really broken down into kind of 3 different categories. Other educational organizations that help you with your professional development, other niche specialties that either help you drive revenue or add a service or fine-tune your marketing and owner engagement, or software tools that help you deliver the exit planning work. All of those folks will be there, and you'll have ample time to visit them with them as well. Coming out of last year's summit, some of the feedback is that people wanted even more networking, so we've increased our break time so that you have that time to go and network. We also added a second social, really on Sunday evening, as most people are flying in that morning or that afternoon. That Sunday evening, just for a couple of hours, you'll have a chance to kind of swing by, grab your materials for Monday and Tuesday, and also have a time to network and socialize with the people that are there as we kind of anxiously await the kickoff on Monday morning. We'll also have our Excellence in Exit Planning Awards during our lunch on day 2 on Tuesday. We'll honor 3 folks that will win one of 3 awards: the Exit Planner of the Year, the Leader of the Year, or the Member of the Year as well, and recognize those advisors that are simply doing things right, that are really pioneers and trailblazers, people that we can look to say, as I'm building my owner engagement programs, as I'm delivering exit planning services, or as I'm building my exit planning practice, these are the folks that have made an impact in the industry. Lastly, we'll have some deeper dive one-day workshops, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But we'll have 2 workshops that'll come to you about really building your exit planning practices, hosted on that Wednesday. So from a high level, folks, that's really the traditional mix with the non-traditional format of our summit. So let's kind of peel back the layer of the onion and look a little bit deeper into this year's summit. As you can see on my screen now, I'm actually sharing with you, instead of putting together some PowerPoint presentation, I thought I'd just share with you very simply exitplanningconference.com. This is really your hub for the entire conference. You can also go to the Exit Planning Institute website, go to programs, and look at the Exit Planning Summit there, or very simply go to exitplanningconference.com for all of your information. This year's summit is themed Exit is Now, Plan Accordingly. I think as we try to build our themes on top of each other, right? 2 years ago, we talked about really us as advisors. It was called becoming the advisor of the future, really evolving yourself as an advisor. What does that mean? What are the capabilities that we need? Last year, we focused on real results, real stories. So we really looked at not only just the advisor, but the business owner, and tried to focus on some real stories that we can hang on to, some case studies, if you will, that also help us build and sharpen our skills. If you know the exit planning community or the Exit Planning Institute, 2017 was a big year, and 2018 it continues in the research realm of things. We've conducted various state of owner readiness surveys in micro markets across the United States. And what we're finding is about 67% of those owners that are taking those surveys are indicating that they want to transition their business in the next 5 years. We also know that the upper end of the baby boomers is about 72, the youngest is about 50 or 52. So in the next 10 years, all baby boomer business owners will be over the age of 60. If you really studied that even deeper, you'd find that most of those baby boomers are actually 60 to 72 years old. And so in the next 5 years, those owners will be 65. In the next 10, they'll be 70, with the oldest being in their 80s. I think it's likely to think now in 2018 and beyond, we're actually starting to see what we've been talking about for the past 10 years, this baby boom transition. And so this year we themed our summit Exit is Now, and we'll be focusing really on what 3 different phases of exit, if you will. We'll be focusing on what are all the activities that happen pre-exit, right, through the value acceleration methodology. What are all those things look like? What happens during the exit? What does the exit look like? What is the 6 months before? What is the exit as we start to transition? And then what happens after the exit, depending on what exit option you chose, whether it's private equity, whether it's family, whether it's a third-party sale. What happens with the employees, the systems, the culture? How do we integrate that business perhaps into a new ownership, perhaps merge into another business, and really integrate and optimize everything there so that the transition flows very nicely? I think that exit planning is right now. You probably, if you know me, I use a quote from Oprah all the time that focuses on how prepared you are, and if luck and preparedness is really the one and the same. Oprah's quote goes something like this, is that you wouldn't have been so lucky if you weren't prepared when that moment came along. So it's really not about luck. It's about how ready and prepared are you for that moment. And I think it focuses on, I love it for all of us, because I think it focuses on both the advisor and the owner. So the challenge for you, if you're the advisor on the webinar here today, is when your client knocks on your door because you've been their most trusted advisor for the past several years and said, well, I'm ready to exit and I'd like to start talking about this transition. Are you going to be prepared for that conversation with your owner? You're going to hope that you get lucky and know what to do. And the bigger challenge is for our owner clients. When that business owner happens to fall into a great opportunity to sell their company, or perhaps unfortunately falls to one of the 5 Ds, divorce, death, disability, distress on the business, disagreement, are we going to hope that that owner's ready? Are we going to hope that that owner's prepared to take over that opportunity? Or are we going to hope they get lucky? So I think, folks, absolutely exit is now. It's time for us as advisors to really transform ourselves and evolve ourselves in the industry and become really that advisor of the future so that we can really build value for us and build value for our clients and start to change outcomes. The summit this year, as you can see, we're about 150 days away or so. Will be hosted on September 24th and 25th in Nashville, Tennessee. Again, everybody will be arriving on Sunday the 23rd. We welcome you to that evening social. And if you'd like to go a little deeper and have some workshop-style education, we extend our conference into a really a third day on September 26th, where there'll be some 2 choices of deeper dive workshops there. The venue this year is the Hilton, downtown Nashville. If you're looking at my screen now, you can see some of the phenomenal photos of this hotel. We typically actually choose some hotels that are smaller in form because we're a smaller group. We limit actually our conference to 200 people. So if you're thinking about coming, I would grab your seat now because it tends to fill up fairly quickly. But we keep it at 200 because we like to break out in those small groups and really have time to network. And so saying that, we also choose smaller venue hotels. So this year we will literally, our exit planning group will take over the entire Hilton Hotel conference facilities, and it's going to be really a fantastic time. If you know Nashville and you're into the music scene there, or the country music scene, not only is the hotel fantastic, but it's literally located 1 block off Broadway. So not only could you get to really all of the honky tonks and the music scenes there, but you could take some fantastic tours and easily head out to some of the neighborhoods as well. Let's talk a little bit about the content, right? The meat of this conference. What you'll see is 2 keynote speakers. You'll have 6 breakout sessions. You'll have 4 general sessions, 2 workshops, and 1 panel discussion. We talked about that case study and that ebook that we're creating that we'll utilize in our practice groups. What I've asked every single speaker, all of those different keynotes and breakouts and general sessions and panel discussions, to incorporate the case study into their material as well. So not only will you dissect this case study in your practice groups throughout the summit, but every speaker with their specific topic of either optimizing and integration after the sale, whether it's private equity, whether it's retaining key employees, whether it's family business, whether it's value enhancement, whatever that segment, that educational session is, this case study will actually be brought into their presentation, and they'll present not only on their topic, but the last few slides of their presentation will actually be integrated into that case study, and they'll use their topic to talk about how it relates to this mock owner, this fictional owner that we have inside of our case study. You have 4 keynotes this year. We kick off day 1 on Monday with John Warlow, who's a best-selling author and the owner of the Value Builder System. John is talking really about how to build your exit planning practice, right, in a world of technology and information. Then our opening keynote for the day is a phenomenal speaker. You may or may not have seen him through the exit planning world or the community, certainly through the Exit Planning Institute. He wrote a couple of books. One is Willing Wisdom, and the other is Every Family's Business. As you know, that Exit Planning Institute is also a family business. We utilize Tom's family business blueprint in our own business. He's a phenomenal guy, very energetic, and a great person to kick it off. He's going to integrate a customized keynote for the Exit Planning Institute and everybody at the summit that embraces not only Willing Wisdom, but every family's business. Tom has also generously given away for everybody that attends. You'll get what's called the Willing Wisdom Index. So go to his site, look at the Willing Wisdom Index. It is an index that really talks about your financial plan, your will, your estate, and really is a tool that you as the advisor can send to the business owner and have them take this kind of mini assessment. Everybody will have one of those when they leave the conference and test out. You'll also get his book, Every Family's Business. Our next keynote of the conference comes on day 2, and Christine Hollenden is really a marketing guru, right? She is a marketing strategist that works both with owners and advisors. Her talk will be about branding, people, and culture, and really what takes place, frankly, beyond the terms of the deal. So what communication strategies are we having when we go to start to exit and actually sell our business? What does that look like? And then new to the exit planning community, but not new to working with professional advisors, is Dan Negroni. He is a leading expert on the engagement of the next generations, whether that be Gen Xers or millennials. I think this is going to be a phenomenal session. I think as many baby boomers, not only that you're working with, are working with the next generation of owners and managers, but even in our own practices, people that have employees at large wealth management firms, law firms, or accounting firms, there's more and more millennials and Gen Xers that are coming into the marketplace. And so Dan will share with us his talk around working with the next generation. So I think it's going to be fantastic. Also, there's in one of your general sessions, you'll hear from Bobby Kingsbury with MCN Capital, who uniquely has customized a talk for our community that focuses on private equity, but really takes private equity to the next level that says private equity the first 100 days. So what happens when a private equity company buys you? What does the first few months look like after purchase? Uniquely enough, if you're looking at your screen, we've introduced what's called the Power Sessions. I'm really excited about this. I think this is a very creative thing that our team has done at the Exit Planning Institute. As you know, if you're a SEPA on the call, we do a member survey each year, and we do surveys after each one of our programs. We compile all of that content, And what we said was, around our office, we said, how can we address some of the pitfalls, some of the hurdles, some of the challenges that professional advisors in the exit planning world come across? And what we're going to do, and if you're familiar with TED Talks, in kind of a TED style session, we're going to feature 7 different advisors with 7 different expertises that address the pitfalls and hurdles we as professional advisors have. So you'll have Julie Keys, the collaborator. You'll have the inquisitor, Sean Hutchinson. You'll have Brooke Norman, the marketer. You'll have the scaler, Dan Duran. You'll have Justin Goodbread, the brander. You'll have Kent McCowan, the strategist. And then you'll finish out with the valuator. What's really interesting here, what I think, is that you'll get in kind of this jam-packed session. We've asked these speakers to do 15-minute presentations of the top 3 or 5 things that we as professional advisors, what we can harness as professional advisors to go out and really make those pitfalls, challenge those hurdles, and make those pitfalls a positive thing where we can kind of leap over those hurdles and learn from these different experts. So it'll be about a 2-hour or so long session. So in 2 hours, you'll hear from 7 different people with the best things that they have for professional advisors in TED Talk form. So that'll be, I think, an extremely interesting session. As you can see, if you're following along on your screen, there's several other speakers a part of this conference that you'll hear from. So let's take a look really quick at the schedule for the 2 days. So here is day 1. Everybody's going to arrive, everybody's going to arrive on Sunday, September 3rd. We'll have our President Circle workshop, and then the conference really opens up at 4:30 p.m. with our pre-conference registration and happy hour. The conference kicks off on Monday morning. You'll have John Warlow, followed by an opening from myself, followed by Tom Deans, and then we'll start to get into our breakout sessions. Here you'll see the partial liquidity events, management buyouts, and generational transfers. You'll see Ensuring Tomorrow, transforming managers into successful owners. And you'll see myth busting, how employee ownership can be a real option for business succession. I think, again, with the theme of exit is now, what's going on pre-exit, what's going on during the exit, and what goes on after the exit has occurred. Next, you'll see another lineup of breakouts about business acquisition and shareholder buyout, how we can finance those deals with SBA 7A loans. We'll also look at compensating and retaining key employees, and then we'll focus on what goes on post-transition, post-merger, and how we can optimize that integration. We're also bringing back our exited owner panel that'll be led by a chapter president in Nashville, and we have local Nashville owners coming out who will really talk to us over lunch about their experiences that they went through, some of their hurdles, some of the positives, and give us some advice on how we can help our owners help them transition their business. That'll be followed by the afternoon as we start to lead into our last session of the day, which is sponsored by and our title sponsor for the 2nd year in the row, BNY Mellon Wealth Management. They have been an absolute amazing partner, not just for the Exit Planning Institute, but for many SEPAs out in the community as well. For the 2nd year, they're coming back. And Eric from BNY Mellon will have a session at 5 o'clock leading into our charity give back social, which we'll talk about here at the end of our presentation. So that's day 1. And if you're a certified exit planning advisor, you will certainly see that it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose, but it's action-packed content, very interactive and engaging in a jam-packed day 1. Day 2 will come back, and Bobby Kingsbury will do his private equity the first 100 days. Then we'll go into Christine's session, managing the rumor mill. Then we'll break out into our case study groups. We'll have a little bit of time on day 1 and a little bit of time on day 2 to break out and work inside our groups. Right before lunch, Dan Negroni will address us with the millennial race and addressing the cross-generational conflicts. And then we'll wrap up our content really with the Excellence in Exit Planning Awards. And then from there, we'll come back and we'll do our Exit is Now case study group presentation. So I think, again, it's going to be a great opportunity for us to kind of integrate and really work together. As we conclude after those presentations, the exhibit hall will open back up, and some of those exit solution partners will go through and do and really do some product demos for all of you. Now, if you're looking for a little bit deeper of a dive, you can stick around for Wednesday, and there's two fantastic workshops. They're all-day workshops. One is called Jumpstart Your Exit Planning Practice with our Leader of the Year, Julie Keys, from last year. Julie Keys is the president of the Twin Cities metro area chapter for EPI. She is a value advisor. She is someone that works the entire methodology with an owner. She's the collaborator. She's one of the best collaborative advisors I think we know. She's also a SEPA faculty member. She has created a workshop after spending some time being a SEPA and building her own practice. She has now created a workshop about how she did it. So if you're looking to jumpstart your exit planning practice, either way, whether you're going to actually deliver the exit planning services or whether you're going to simply use exit planning to kind of integrate yourself into a more holistic and deeper conversation with the business owner in an owner engagement format, that would be your workshop. We're also bringing back Mastering the Triggering Event. It's an advanced workshop. It's limited in seats, and it's with our president and CEO and the creator of the Value Acceleration methodology, Chris Snyder. If you're a certified exit planning advisor with us and you're actually going and doing and following the full methodology, everything starts with what's called the triggering event engagement. It's a combination of a range of value valuation with an enterprise value assessment, an assessment of all business, personal, and financial goals or aspects of the owner. It's a pretty in-depth workshop that really takes you through a full day and takes you through the interworkings, the nuances of that particular triggering event. How do you conduct it? What do you need to conduct it? How do you interview the owner? And then how do you start to prepare the prioritized action plan? So those are two really good workshops that both those kind of high class and expert advisors will host on day 3 on Wednesday. Last but not least, as we kind of round out our webinar here today with everybody, a massive thank you goes out to our sponsors. And I always say that our sponsors are deeper than just somebody that throws some money at a conference to put their name on it. When we go out and we really talk to these sponsors, they're really partners. They're partners for us in our exit planning practice. When you think about the Exit Planning Institute, I want you to think about a resource in exit planning, a partner in your exit planning practice. And as part of that core value that we offer to our certified exit planning advisors, we go out and we interview key partners, not just sponsors, key partners that we believe provide you with the best education, the best products, and the best services out there in the marketplace today. As I mentioned, BNY Mellon Wealth Management is our title sponsor. Again, here today, we'll recognize some of their advisors that are also doing things right. So if you're a fellow wealth manager on the webinar today, you'll certainly learn that firsthand from some of those advisors, from owner engaging workshops to branding, to delivering exit planning work, to having these conversations. We'll see how BNY Mellon is doing some of them, sharing some of their success stories. This year we have Abe's Garden, which is an Alzheimer's and memory care center for the elderly. It's a local Nashville nonprofit. We are very proud and honored to have them as our charity Give Back social partner, and very proud and honored to have our local chapter involved, local Exit Planning Institute Greater Nashville chapter involved, and some of the key partners and key leadership folks on that chapter's team sponsoring this event as well. Then we have all the folks that are part of the Exit Solutions marketplace. And again, think about them in really 3 ways. One, what are the tools or solutions that I need to be either effective in marketing or effective at delivering client work? What are the people that are kind of these niche specialties that help me partner, that help my business owners get financing, that help that really help me really build my team and integrate into the owner's life? And last but certainly not least, education, right? I think we can always be learning. So Exit Planning Institute also partners with several different institutions and organizations that are similar to the Exit Planning Institute and provide professional advisors with the education they need to be the best in the marketplace and the best in the industry. So folks, at this time, I'd like to pause very quickly as we hit our half hour together and see if there are any questions. So I'm going to pause quick to look over at the questions box. If you have any questions, please throw them in there, and we will go ahead and try to get those answered for you. Just one quick question. If you are looking to register or participate or learn more, there's two ways you can do it. Again, exitplanningconference.com is where you can start. You can poke your way through this. A lot of this stuff is clickable, and you could dive a little deeper, read the speakers' bios, read about their sessions, read about the other events. And if you're looking for direct questions, feel free to reach out to Josh Koza, our Client Experience Manager, or Drew English at the Exit Planning Institute by calling or emailing them with your questions. There's several different discounts and early bird registrations that are going on as well. So if you want to inquire about those, please feel free to do so. But at this time, folks, that's our time here today. I hope that gave you kind of a high-level insider's look at the Exit Planning Summit. I really hope to see you there in Nashville in September. And I'm very, very excited to be hosting this summit. A lot of cool things are going to happen. It's really a great experience, and I think a transformational one as well. Well, thanks, everybody. I appreciate your time and hope to see you soon.